our legs, down into our ankles, into our feet, and see it go all the way down into Mother Earth so that we see this divine energy coming down from the divine, from the all, from God, from however you choose to use the words, feeling it come down all through our bodies, sending everything that's no longer needed or want or worries, concerns, anger, fear, any of that. Have it just go down to Mother Earth so it can be transmuted back up into clear, positive, loving energy back to the source. So we are this flow of this purity of cleaning out, as well as energizing and feeling into the white light. See it going through our bodies and through our legs, down into our feet, into Mother Earth, and transmuting back up. And while we continue with this white light, we will now bring in the pink unconditional love light energy that comes in, and have it come down our heads and particularly come into our hearts. And wanting each of you to open up your hearts to feel how the universe loves you, loves us, loves the uniqueness that you are, embraces the beauty that you are, the necessary energy that you bring, the love. And see then going down your body this beautiful unconditional love. And now we bring in the green healing light. Just have it further soothe and comfort and clean and heal any of those parts that have been affected by anything that's been happening, fear, upset, illness, sadness, all of that. Continue to have it just heal and soothe all of that. So just feel in those three beautiful energies, the white purity light, the pink unconditional love, the green healing light. And now feel it coming down your shoulders, to your arms, past your wrists, into your hands, and feel that these three energies now go out and connect everyone on this call right now, that we are one beautiful light, connected to the divine, connected to Mother Earth, and connected to each other. And we just breathe in the beauty of this light, feeling each other, embracing the energies that we give and we receive from the all and from each other. And that we know that these energies are for us at any time. We can bring them down. And we're going to continue having them be with us for this service. And this for as long as each and every one of us needs them, wants us, embraces them. And so we say thank you as we open our eyes and we move into more of the service.
I am the commanding conscious presence that demands peace and harmony in every area and aspect of my life. In my work, in my play, with my friends and family, and within my inner being. The peace and harmony of God is active, present, in full operation and complete manifestation. I send this peace out to every leader in every country and all who make decisions that bring change in our world. I know that the peace and harmony of God is active in every person everywhere. I see this country surrounded by light as more people choose to meditate on peace. I surrender to Spirit the ways in which this will happen. I lay aside my limited opinion as I place my trust in the infinite wisdom of God, knowing that peace and harmony awakens in the hearts, minds, imaginations, hopes, dreams, and wishes for everyone. For the peace and harmony of God far outweighs any desire for disharmony or destruction. Wherever there is God, peace and harmony is active, present, and in full manifestation. And so it is. Visualize the healing energy filling each other, the room, and extending out throughout the world, sending its light to all in need and down to Mother Earth. Amen. The reading and homily this morning will be presented by Reverend Diana Flanagan.
Today's reading and homily is from A Course of Miracles. Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Good morning. Our task is not to seek love, but to look within ourselves at all our barriers. Just think about that. We already know that we are love and light. We know that we are spiritual beings in a human form. We know that we choose our own happiness or unhappiness as we apply the laws of the universe. But what keeps us from truly living in this way, to truly manifesting this, are the barriers we have built against our own magnificence. And it is time for us to truly examine these and bring them to the light. This past week was a celebration called Imbolc, or Candlemas, or St. Bridget's Day. It is one of the 4 Celtic fire festivals. It commemorates the changing of the goddess from the crone to the maiden by celebrating the first signs of spring. It is the festival commemorating the successful passing of winter and the beginning of the agricultural year. It is the day we celebrate the passing of winter and making way for spring. It is no accident that Groundhog Day falls on Imbolc. Whether or not he sees his shadow, we are beginning to look towards spring. Winter is still here, but we look towards the lengthening days and we feel that spring is coming. Spring cleaning comes from this day, when everyone cleared out the old from the passing of the winter to open up to the spring and new beginnings. So we want to use this time to further our own spring cleaning. Look deep into our hurts, our disappointments, upsets, and times we were betrayed. We need to bring these to the light so that they can be healed. We want to examine our anger and resentments. Know that these are killing our passions, our creativity. Remember, as Malachi McCourt said, resentment is the poison you drink, waiting for the other to die. We literally are poisoning ourselves with unresolved anger and resentment. How can we let this go? One of the best ways is to truly forgive. John Gray, author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, says, to fully open our hearts to each other and enjoy a lifetime of love, the most important skill of all is forgiveness. Forgiving your partner for their mistakes not only frees you to love again, but allows us to forgive ourselves for not being perfect. When we don't forgive in one relationship, our love is, to varying degrees, restricted in all of our relationships. We can still love others, but not as much. When a heart is blocked in one relationship, it beats more weakly in them all. Even when you try to forget someone who has hurt you, as long as you don't forgive them, you're giving them the power to continue hurting you. Forgiving means letting go of the hurt. Forgiveness allows us to give our love again and helps us to open up to both to give and also to receive love. When we are closed, we lose out on both of those counts. We are love, so not to give or receive it limits our lives, our passions, our light. The more you love someone, the more you suffer when you don't forgive them. A great pain is not loving someone we love. We stubbornly hold on to bitterness and resentment, not because we are not loving, but because we do not know how to forgive. If we were not loving, then ceasing to love someone would not be painful at all. So the more loving you are, the more painful it is not to forgive. We weren't taught to forgive, so we associate forgiving someone with thinking that what they did was not so bad after all. We minimize the hurt or want to understand what the person was going through. We make excuses for their behavior so we can justify our forgiveness. But real forgiveness is acknowledging that a real mistake has been made and then affirms that that person who made it still deserves to be loved and respected. It does not mean that their behavior was condoned or agreed with in any way. Carolyn May says, forgiveness is giving up the illusion that someone or something could have done something different in that moment. Giving up the illusion that someone or something could have done something different in that moment. Think about that. Think about times that you've gone back and gone, oh, I should have said this, or I wish I hadn't said that, or whatever. But you're bringing back understanding from now back to them. And what you need to see is what was going on with you in that moment, or they were only doing in that moment, given the emotional, the information, the set of circumstances, whatever. It's easy to go back and second guess what we should have done. But when we really forgive, it's giving up that illusion that yourself or others could do something different. I remember a friend of mine asked me about my husband and saying, probably I should have put him in hospice, even though he was very sick and I thought he needed to be in the hospital, and that maybe things would have been different. And I stopped her and I said, I'm not going to do that to myself. I made the decision with the information, the emotional wherewithal I had, and with the intention of always doing the best for him. And I will live with that and not second guess myself on it. Now, that doesn't mean I might not look back and say, hey, I could have done this or not, but I will not beat myself up for a decision that I made, given the circumstances at the time. Louise says forgiveness is fundamental in healing. She believes that by not forgiving others or ourselves is one of the underlying causes of the dis-ease we create in our body. Loving ourselves is partly forgiving ourselves. If forgiveness is required, the implementation is that you are acknowledging that a mistake was made and that you want it corrected or at least not repeated. When forgiveness is learned and expressed, a huge weight is lifted. Through saying those three simple words, I forgive you, lives and relationships have changed. We can practice forgiveness so we stop blaming ourselves and others. Take a moment to see someone or something that you are having difficulty forgiving. Maybe recent, or someone close, or not, and maybe even yourself. So we will begin by saying, nobody's perfect. I forgive you for being imperfect. What you did was wrong. Nobody deserves to be treated the way you treated me. What you did was wrong, and I forgive you. I forgive you for not being perfect. I forgive you for not giving me the love and respect that I deserve. I forgive you for not knowing better. I wish for you the decency and respect that every human being deserves. I forgive you for making a mistake. How does one know if they have truly forgiven? Clarissa Pinkola Estes, the woman who wrote Women Who Run with the Wolves, said, "You tend to feel sorrow over the circumstances instead of rage. You tend to feel sorry for the person rather than angry with them. You tend to have nothing left to remember to say about it all. You understand the suffering that drove the offense to begin with. You are not waiting for anything. You are not wanting anything. There is no lariat snare around your ankle, stretching from way back there to here. You are free to go. It may not have the happily ever after, but most certainly there is a now fresh, once upon a time, waiting for you from this day forward." The angels in heavens rejoice each time you forgive. When you choose to love instead of closing your heart, you bring a little spark of divinity into our dark world of struggle. You lighten the load of others and help them forgive as well. We want to use the energy of the season and Imbolc to cleanse away our clutter, both in our homes and in our lives. As Michelangelo said, I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set it free. Carve out your heaviness, bitterness, hurts, resentment, all that isn't the angel within, and set yourselves free.